Hey Jonesy Babes and Anonymous Jonesy Babes, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to continue with Diddy's trial. Who's on the stand? Dawn Richard. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about it. Dawn Richard was a cast member of Sean Combs' MTV reality TV show called Making the Band. Her girl group was called Dandy Kane and it was launched on the show. Dawn Richard later became a member of Combs' band Diddy Dirty Money. Richard said on Friday she worked for Combs from 2004 to 2011. Dawn testified that none of Sean Combs' staff, colleagues, or friends stood up for Cassie when he abused her in front of them. Frequently, he would punch her, choke her, slap her in the mouth, kick her, punch her in the stomach. That's what Dawn told the jurors. It could be because Cassie was speaking up for herself. It could be random. It could be if she had an opinion for herself. She continued, she would be quiet, and when she had these moments of trying to stick up for herself, he would hurt her for it. When asked what people did in response to the beatings, Dawn said, none of us did anything. And I like that she said none of us did anything because she included herself, because she didn't do anything. Nobody helped Cassie. It was like everybody was scared of Diddy. Okay? Nobody helped her. Nobody. And I'm glad that she said none of us did anything. Dawn said once before an appearance in New York City, Cassie was left with a swollen eye after Diddy beat her. She testified that Cassie wore makeup and sunglasses to hide the injuries. So Dawn and her Dandy Kane band members, they wore glasses to stand behind Cassie. They wore like sunglasses to stand behind her. We wore sunglasses to have solidarity with her and have a support system because she needed it. Dawn testified that Sean Combs got his drugs from a dealer called One Stop, who had supplies ranging from ecstasy to Plan B birth control. She told the court that Combs and his staff would carry around a Louis Vuitton pouch full of drugs. Last week, Cassie referenced the pouch on the stand as well and called it Combs' med bag. It should have been called his get high bag. Make me crazy bag. That's what it should have been called. But anyway, let's continue. Dawn is now being grilled by Sean Combs' attorney, Nicole Westmoreland, in cross-examination. The defense is asking Dawn questions about her civil lawsuit against Combs. Westmoreland also asked Dawn if she saw Combs hit Cassie with a skillet or if she heard the alleged attack. Now, what is he wearing in court today? Uncle Ruckus is wearing a beige crew neck sweater in court today. And when I say Uncle Ruckus, I meant Diddy. Some of these drawings, that's who he looks like, Uncle Ruckus. So I might just start calling him Diddy Ruckus. Dawn testified that she saw Combs attack Cassie when she and singer Kalina Harper was getting ready in his apartment for a performance in Central Park in 2009. Puff and Cassie were in the hallway arguing. He punched her in the face. Diddy punched her in the face. Dawn said the assault was with a closed fist. She said Cassie came into the bathroom crying, where Dawn and Kalina were getting ready, where they saw Cassie's eyes swelling. If you hear me pause in between, it's a lot, because I know a few people that went through this kind of stuff. And I had a boyfriend that I fought with, and it wasn't nothing like this, but it's something similar. You know what I'm saying? And it's it just takes me back a little bit. Let me tell you something. Fighting a man is exhausting. You know what I'm saying? They are more powerful than you. And if you have an insecure boyfriend or a boyfriend that's a narcissist, and as soon as you speak up for yourself or show him that you're taking your power back, it bothers them. You get what I'm saying? It bothers them. And because they feel like they're losing control of you. And that's what Diddy was doing to Cassie. Every time she would speak up for herself, he would take her power back. The little that she was getting, he would snatch it from her and beat her. And I know a lot of friends that went through that. A lot. And when they would take their power back, the guy would show out. Become an animal. Become a monster. 10 times worse. But what I can say, they all left alive. I can honestly say that. They all left alive. And I'm proud of them for that. And I know it's not easy just to leave the person that you've been with for a very long time. We can say leave, right? But guess what? They're going to leave when the feeling is right for them to leave. It's not as easy for them to leave, And it bothers me when people talk bad about Cassie on social media. When they say those nasty things about her, it makes me sad. And these are women talking, I'm telling you. Not only men are saying this, it's women. Women are saying this. So, if you hear me pause every now and then, I'm just getting my thoughts together because, But anyway. Dawn testified she saw Cassie do her makeup to hide the bruise before Harper and Dawn wore sunglasses with her to show, support for Cassie. Sean Combs' defense team is grilling Dawn about her testimony about Combs assaulting Cassie with an egg skillet in 2009. Defense lawyer Nicole Westmoreland suggested that Dawn has told multiple different accounts of the story in interviews. When asked if she changed her story over time, Dawn said she recounted the incident to the best of her ability. Okay. Dawn testified that she once saw Sean Combs punch Cassie in the stomach at a restaurant. While on the stand, she said celebrities including Usher and Neo were at the restaurant when the assault occurred. It's unclear if Usher and Neo saw the attack. Now, while under cross-examination, Dawn said she asked to work with Sean Combs again, even though she was scared of him after seeing him attack Cassie. She confirmed she asked Combs to sign her as a solo artist in 2011 after her time with Diddy dirty money. She also asked Combs if they could work together as recently as 2021. See, I didn't know that. You felt like Mr. Combs ruined your career not once but twice, defense lawyer Nicole Westmoreland asked Dawn, and Dawn replied yes. But my thing is, if she felt like Diddy ruined her career not once but twice, why would she want to work with him again? And I'm thinking that it might be because she was familiar with him. She knew him. That was her way to get back in the door. You get what I'm saying? I don't know. What you guys think? Talk to me in the comment section. As Sean Combs' defense lawyers point out inconsistencies in stories of Dawn's, Dawn says she forgot details over time because of the trauma that she endured from the intense work environment. It did not all come back immediately, she said. The environment was traumatizing, so I tried to erase those things from my memory. However, she said more memories come to light as time goes on. Every day it gets easier to remember certain things, she explained during course examination. I try my best to do it the best to my ability. So, what did you guys think about Dawn's testimony today? And you can be honest, you can be honest. Carrie Morgan takes the stand. Now, Carrie Morgan, she used to be longtime friends with Cassie until Sean Combs intervened. Carrie Morgan says she's only testifying in the Manhattan court case because she was issued a subpoena, but that she doesn't want to be there. I have moved on with my life away from all these people and the problems, she said. Carrie Morgan, who now works as a personal assistant in Los Angeles, says she first met Cassie around 2001. The two met when they were teens at a modeling shoot. They started living together in New York City in 2004. Morgan testified Cassie didn't drink much alcohol, didn't use any drugs at the start of their friendship. Carrie Morgan testified that Sean Combs' treatment of Cassie Ventura throughout their relationship destroyed her self-esteem. She lost her confidence big time, lost her spark, Morgan said. She testified that she heard Combs criticize Cassie's appearance and behavior. Morgan also said Combs would call Cassie repeatedly until she answered, even calling 50 times in a row. She said Combs and his staff would sometimes contact Morgan to get a hold of Cassie. Carrie testified she saw Diddy assault Cassie twice, once in Los Angeles and once on a trip to Jamaica. She said that during the attack at Combs' home in Hollywood Hills, she saw Combs kick Cassie in front of his security guard named Ruben. I told Ruben to do something he indicated he wouldn't. Morgan said she and Cassie left the home and hid on the steps of a neighbor's house for 30 minutes. Carrie said she saw Combs drag Cassie by her hair when they were on a trip to Jamaica in January of 2013. She said Combs became angry when Cassie took long in the bathroom. I ran back to get my purse and phones so we can leave. When she came back, she saw Combs push her on the ground and she hit her head on a brick. She didn't move. She said she thought Cassie was knocked out, but then she got up and ran into the woods nearby. Morgan testified that she then jumped onto a golf cart as Combs got into another golf cart to look for Cassie. They both drove in separate directions. When Morgan found Cassie, the two hid in a ditch together from Sean. Wow. Cassie's ex-best friend, Carrie Morgan, testified that after Cassie took those selfies following the court on video attack, the singer returned home where her former best friend was staying. Combs showed up at the apartment 30 minutes later with a hammer and tried to bust down the door. He was hitting the door with a hammer to try and open it, saying she was terrified and tried to call Combs security for help as she was freaking out. However, Cassie appeared numb in the panic, Morgan told the court. I don't think she cared if he came in and unalived her. 2 years after the incident in 2016, Cassie and Morgan's friendship ended after Combs attacked Morgan with a wooden hanger. Morgan, who is 39 years old, testified that she was at Cassie's home when Combs snuck up on her while Cassie was in the bathroom. He came up behind me and choked me and left finger marks on my neck, and he hit me in the head with a wooden hanger, Morgan said on the stand, adding that Combs asked her about Cassie's infidelities. When I got up, he boomeranged a hanger at my head, she recalled, saying the attack left her with a concussion that made her vomit a few times on the way to urgent care. Morgan said she got a lawyer after the incident and planned to sue, but didn't end up bringing a lawsuit against Combs following a meeting with Cassie a month later. At a pizza restaurant, Cassie told Morgan she was over-exaggerating about the attack and told her Combs would give her $30,000 after she signed an NDA. We haven't spoken since, Morgan testified. The last time I spoke to Sean was the night of the assault, and the last time I saw Cassie was when I signed the NDA. Wow. Federal investigators found baby oil, lubricant, ecstasy, pink cocaine, and candy when they raided Combs' room in New York City in September. And I'm going to put in the pictures, but I'm going to blur out some of this stuff, okay? But you'll get the idea of what it is. He even had the baby oil with the green top. I think that's the aloe. Oh, God. Jesus. Oh, no. Cassie's eyebrow. Oh, my gosh. Jeez. The pictures of the sordid hotel room, which the jury on Combs' federal SEX trafficking trial was shown on Friday, were released to the public on Monday as week 2 of his trial gets underway. Jurors also saw graphic images of Cassie Ventura's gruesome injuries she suffered at the hands of Combs, her ex-boyfriend of 10 years, who was standing trial for 5 criminal counts. Combs' attorney have insisted that while Combs might be guilty of domestic violence, he's not guilty of any of the charges against him, including racketeering, conspiracy, SEX trafficking by force, and transportation to engage in prostitution. Multiple previously unreleased photos of Cassie's wounds allegedly inflicted by Combs were also released for the first time on Monday, which is today. 2 pictures show an eyebrow gash Cassie suffered after Combs threw her into a bed frame in 2013, while multiple other photos show Cassie's bruises from an instance in 2011. 3 pictures Cassie took of herself in an Uber ride leaving the Intercontinental Hotel in March of 2016 were also released, showing her with a busted lip and wearing sunglasses to hide her black eye. Morgan said she had been staying with Cassie for a movie premiere. Cassie had a black eye after the attack. She said that about 30 minutes after Cassie got home, Combs came to her house and banged on the door with a hammer. Morgan testified she was freaked out and she called Combs' security guard D-Rock, hoping he would get him to stop. She said as Combs banged on the door, Cassie sat on the couch, numb and didn't move. I didn't think she cared if he unalived her. Combs eventually left without getting inside. Carrie testified that she often told Cassie to leave Sean throughout their relationship. I wanted her to do what she wanted to do, but I told her she should leave him. She said she could not because of her job, her car, and her apartment. Wow. That's something. I'm looking at pictures, which I will also share these pictures of Cassie's lip, swollen. And she has on dark shades. Nobody should have to live like this, man. Nobody should have lived like that. She didn't have to live like that. And I feel like Carrie was a good friend to Cassie, and he ruined that. He ruined that. He really did. That's insane. Carrie testified that Sean Diddy Combs became jealous when Cassie started talking to actor Michael B. Jordan in 2015. Last week, Cassie told the court that she and Combs were on a break while she was filming a movie in South Africa. Cassie testified that at the time she started a fling with Jordan, that made Combs furious. But my thing is, if they're on a break, they're not together, why is he mad because she dated somebody else? See, this is the thing with Diddy. He could do what he want to do. But as soon as somebody else do something, he gets upset. He goes into a jealous rage. They was on a break. He still wants to control her. She said, what I remember was that she was speaking to Michael B. Jordan and they hung out together. He was jealous of it. Carrie said that Mia, one of Sean Combs' assistants, also came to visit Cassie while she was filming in South Africa. She was pretty close with Cassie, close enough that she came with her to South Africa to help her out. Mia is set to testify as an unnamed witness against Combs in the trial. Carrie said she stopped speaking to Cassie because she wasn't supportive of her friend after Sean assaulted her. I draw my line at physical abuse, Carrie testified, saying her 17-year friendship was over and is still broken 7 years later. Kelly testified she didn't ask for the $30,000 settlement. She said it was through him. The money wasn't coming from her. Carrie said, calling Cassie the go-between. I did not demand money from anyone. She offered money to close the case on it so I don't sue anybody or say anything public about it. She continued, all I got was $30,000. Well, girl, you should have pressed for more. I would have been like, oh, so you're the go-between? Okay, well then tell him $30,000 isn't enough. $30,000 isn't enough. Making $1 million and I'm out. He had the money. He could have gave her $1 million. He had the money. Next on the stand, David James. David James, who Cassie named as trusted assistant, who helped set up freak-offs last week, got emotional within minutes of taking a stand. He became overwhelmed when he recalled being interviewed to be Combs' assistant. James recalled being told, "This is Mr. Combs' kingdom. We're all here to serve in it." David James testified about a conversation he overheard from Sean Combs. Combs called Kim Porter his queen before turning the conversation to Cassie. He said, "I have Cassie right where I want her. She's young and moldable," James said. See, Kim Porter was the queen. Cassie was his, rag doll. And I hate to say that, but that's how he treated her. He treated her like a rag doll. And even Cassie mentioned it in her testimony. That's how he treated Cassie. He never cared about her. He never loved her. That's why he didn't want his kids around her. Okay? And I'm pretty sure Kim didn't want her children around Cassie either. But yeah. And for him to say that he had Cassie right where he wanted her, she's young and moldable. Wow. But I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. David James said during his first year of working for Sean Combs, he had a conversation with Cassie that stuck with him while they were in Miami. James recalled Cassie saying, "Man, this lifestyle is crazy." When James asked Cassie why she didn't leave, she responded that she couldn't. "He controls my career, pays my allowance, pays my rent," Cassie said. That's what he testified and said. And look at Uncle Ruckus. He blowing kisses. He got the nerve to blow kisses to the people in the audience. Oh my God. I cannot stand him. I cannot stand him at all. Wow. So what do you guys have to say about it so far? And how do you feel about Morgan taking the 30K? I mean, yeah, she took the money, right? But how do you feel about Cassie offering that to her? Because we all know that Diddy told her to do that, right? So how do you feel about that? How do you feel about today's testimony? Dawn, she finished on the stand. Kerry is finished. And now David James is on. And he will continue tomorrow. So let me know how you felt about the testimonies today. And I will talk to you guys later.